Jaren, I asked Kalani about this, and I've been kind of curious about the impact that analytics and tendencies and all those numbers that are broken down. I know a lot of guys put a lot of stock into those. I was wondering what you do as a quarterback. How much do you look at those analytics and those numbers to try and improve your game?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. We talk about it in meetings. We watch film when we game plan, certain down and distance plays. And then obviously on the field, we have a great way of communicating about those things, so I'm aware of what the book is telling us at the time. And so it's been a big part of our offense and really our whole, three phases of the game for 3 years now and all the success that we've had recently. And so I've really taken that upon myself, meetings and talking to coaches to learn about those analytics and how they, can help us.
Is that something you want to see more, less? Is it about right in your opinion? I'm just curious because it's one of those things you can break down everything. So I'm just wondering how much you like it.
Yeah, just what we're doing. I mean, we go by the book. We do it as it tells us to because there's been a lot of time spent in researching, the impacts of it, and oftentimes it's gone our way over the last couple of years. There's times it doesn't, but even with numbers, you're still human beings on the field, and you got to go play and you got to make it work. So I'm confident, in the book, and I'm confident when our coaches, make their decisions about, what to do in those situations.
Kevin and then Mitch.
Hey, Jaren, just given the last month, is this the toughest leadership challenge that you've had in your career at BYU, or really just in general?
Not a challenge, opportunity though. Finding ways to keep people positive, keep yourself positive. Really, as a leader, a lot of times you can take stuff on yourself. You can allow a lot of stuff to become burdensome. So for me personally, to stay positive, and then just to find ways to look outward, see the guys that need to be reached out to, see the guys that need more belief in themselves, to kind of strike that belief within them, and in return, it kind of does the same for me. So I want to say it's a challenge for any of our leaders. I'd say it's a great opportunity though for coaches and the leaders and all the players really to rally around each other and not worry about anything going on around us right now, but just focus on each other and just making the most out of the situation that we can.
Have you guys Sorry, Mitch.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Have you guys had any player-led meetings this weekend on Saturday or anything like that after the loss?
No meetings yet. Gave guys a day off, recover from the game, spend time with families, watch the film by yourselves, just kind of let it all soak in. But every Monday we meet together often throughout the season as leaders, as players with coaches, kind of all of the above. So again, not trying to make too big of a deal out of it. We just got to find something else to spark us. There's no meeting, there's no speech that can get you out of the situation that we're in right now, and we've learned that after a couple weeks. So we just gotta find a way just to get through this.
Jaren, is the prospects or the potential of a bowl game enough to ignite that spark, you think, for the team? Is that enough motivation for this group to get it on track? I
mean, it absolutely can be. We haven't had our meeting yet. We haven't really talked about that. As you wind down and you get closer to the end of the season, that definitely starts to, be in the back of your mind. But for us right now, we still just got to focus on Boise State this up and coming week. But anybody who's played in bowl games, who's been a part of that experience, it's fun. It's a good time. And college football and players, we're lucky enough to have these boards that represent different bowl games to give us another game and to give us those opportunities to go somewhere around the country and have a good time and play football. So I mean, from my standpoint, being to a bowl game before, it's fun, and I would love to be a part of that, and that's always the goal. But right now, we just got to go take care of business at Boise, and that really will take care of all that for us.
And then wanted to ask, is there a common theme that's causing the issues on third or fourth down, especially that you think are fixable moving forward?
We got to be better than the guys across from us. Every game it's a little different situation. When you're not converting third downs, you're not converting fourth downs. It's dependent upon the defense you're playing, the different play calls we have, and there hasn't really been a common theme for how we haven't been able to convert. But every game kind of has its own reasons, whether you're not physical enough, whether we're not completing passes. It's all kind of been different. And so at the end of the day, it just comes down to understanding our responsibility better, having more urgency in those fourth downs, and just straining more to finish and just to will our way to it. We just got to be better.
Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, Jaren, Boise's been one of the, constants on your schedule throughout the independent era for the BYU football program. What have you enjoyed about facing them in your time in Provo?
Yeah, it's always an intense game. There's always history behind it. There's always grit on that field between both teams, and it's always a good game. It's a good atmosphere wherever you play, whether you're in Boise or you're here in Provo. And it's always a challenge every year. You know, it's no different than, you know, playing Utah or even playing Utah State. It's just a very similar feel, you know. So it'll be really fun to play out there in Boise, their stadium. You know, their fans are very passionate. They always come out to support, and so it'll be a good challenge for us.
We'll take last question from Jay.
Jaren, as these injuries mount up for your offensive weapons, now we've just learned Cody Epps is done for the season. You haven't had Gunner much, and you know the story. Is that just wearing on you? How are you handling that personally? Because these are the guys you rely on to make the offense go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you always pray for their health. You want them to get back as soon as they can, and you like to have all your weapons out there at the same time. But the nature of football is it's a physical game. Not a lot of teams in the country go a whole season with all their guys on the field at the same time. That's the reality. So you can't really make excuses with that, and you can't let that become a burden for anybody to try to carry more weight. But all you got to do is be the most prepared player you can. You know, do your 111th, because at the end of the day, there's 10 other guys on the field. You know, they can make up for what you lose when someone else is hurt. And so I got a lot of confidence in all of our guys, and we've seen it all year. Everybody stepped up at certain points and made plays. So now it's a matter of how can we get everybody that's available to have the best game, you know, of their season at the same time. And I think that's what we've been lacking, and that's something that will really, I think, help us kind of find a spark again and get rolling like we know we can.
Thanks so much, Jaren.
Thank you.
What's little Jada's costume?
She's gonna be a little cow tonight, so we'll be some farmers. So we'll see how that goes.
That sounds like fun.
Oh yes, it will be. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks,
have
Jaren.
a good day. Sorry.